A very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. And this is Live Talk Diaspora Forum. I'm Chris Gande.
And I'm Jonga Kandemiri.
We would like to inform our that because of the coronavirus pandemic, we are not able to give you our usual show, and you'll not be able to call in since we are broadcasting from our homes.
Thanks for joining us. You are listening to Studio 7 Live Talk. This evening, we are discussing about the COVID-19 pandemic and the vaccination program.
Yes, Jonga, we are live now, and we are also going to be talking about the calls for a diaspora vote from people in the diaspora, a call supported by the political parties.
But first, there is also another issue of the suspended Pan-African Parliament meeting in Midrand, South Africa. We understand that last night, the Pan-African parliamentarians failed to vote to choose a new president due to sharp divisions among the member blocs, and mostly Southern African members routing for a rotational way of presidents, and the Western and East African blocs, they are demanding that elections be held. But the Southerners are saying they know they will be outnumbered, meaning the presidents will remain in the West African side of the continent.
Yes, Jonga. But first of all, we are going to talk about COVID-19. The health ministry reported yesterday that 3 people died from COVID-19, while 37 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded. This brought to 38,998 confirmed cases, including 36,624 recoveries and 1,599 deaths. To date, a total of 678,003 COVID-19 cases, while 335,278 people have received their second doses.
But there are disturbing reports that the country has run out of vaccines, resulting in preference being given to those getting their second jab. Zimbabwe plans to inoculate 10 million people in order for it to achieve herd immunity.
All right, let's talk. We are going to be joined by a panel of guests who are going to help us unpack all these issues.
Mm-hmm. And I think, Chris, you said you already have Dr. Matthew Nyashano.
Yes, Jonga, we have Dr. Nyashano, who is here with us live.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to our show, Dr. Nyashano. And how is England?
Well, England is warm here. It's nice summer. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. On my end, I also have Mr. Regis Charumbira Vusango. He is the chairperson of ZANU-PF in North America. I think he is having problems connecting through Be Live. So he opted to call on my mobile, and I hope that is going to sustain. So first of all, Dr. Nyashano, we see that numbers are dropping, like the positive cases being recorded on a daily basis, they are dropping. What can you say about this development?
I think this is a very welcome development in public health, taking into consideration the impact that COVID-19 was having on populations. I also think that this achievement can also be attributed to advancement of science and development of very strong vaccines that have facilitated the prevention of critical illness within COVID-19 infections. However, this should not actually fool people and then we relax, because this might also result in a third wave where people might now not follow the regulations and the COVID-19, as you know, changes, it mutates. And then we could also actually fall in big trouble again. But there's also one thing that I want to say about developed countries and developing countries. It will be effort put to nothing if developed countries do not acknowledge the fact of inequality between developed and developing countries, so that they can help them with some vaccine, so that we can also have developing countries achieving herd immunity before they are also affected by a myriad of problems caused by COVID-19. So there is need for political will from developed countries, and also extend the sharing of the vaccines with those countries that are developing, and actually eliminating it in developed countries does not actually serve the whole purpose for the world, because what happens is that the world is now a global village. Those who are not vaccinated in Zimbabwe can actually travel to America within a day. And so it is important that when we advance the notion of prevention, that is done with all the other countries that are also struggling to get the vaccines.
Mm-hmm. We recently had President Joe Biden of the United States of America announcing that his country is going to donate vaccines by year end, and that is what you are also advocating for, Dr. Nyashanu. But how do you expect these donations to be distributed, looking at the developing countries?
Oh, definitely. It's actually a problem as well. I think this there is need also to look at the per capita grant for different countries, the level of poverty and inequality within those countries, because there are some countries which has not even vaccinated its its citizens, even a quarter, 1/10 of its citizens. So I think the priority should actually be on those countries that are really struggling, and make sure that they come to the same level with those that have started vaccinating people. And there is need for consensus for the developed countries to donate together and distribute the vaccines together, so that they can make an impact. Divided distribution of vaccines might not actually work very well, because we want this to work at the same time, and you then plan and have some vaccines enough for the next time when the immunity goes low.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nyashanu. Let me check whether Mr. Charumbira Vusango is able to join from the phone. Mr. Charumbira?
Yes, Mr. Jonga, thank you very much.
You can hear us. Let me check with my colleagues whether they can hear you clearly. Chris and Dr. Nyashanu, can you hear Mr. Charumbira? Go ahead, Mr. Charumbira.
Yes, I think what Dr. Nyashanu nephew is saying, I truly concur with what he's saying. I think I've been also following him. Whenever he makes his speeches, he's very accurate. And yes, that information that he's giving out is exactly what the government is also considering. It is of paramount importance that it won't be a beneficial to the country if other people are not going to get the vaccine, because even those that have been vaccinated, it's been proven that it's not 100% that they won't catch COVID and they won't die. So it is important that each and every citizen at least get the first jab before people get the second jab. At least that will help those that don't have, at least we won't have a vacuum as far as the two jabs are concerned. So I think it is important that the government do exactly what, or consider exactly what Dr. Nyashanu was saying. And as I was looking at the minutes from the Politburo that was done today, actually, it seems like Dr. Nyashano was in the Politburo, because that's exactly what Dr. Chiwenga was actually laying out in the Politburo. So thank you very much for now.
Thank you so much, Charumbira Vusango, Rambai muri parunare. Dr. Nyashano, zvinoratidza kuti zvamunotarisa nezvamunoona zvinotambirwa nekuwirirana nemaonero akawanda, nokuti vacharumbira Vusango veZANU-PF vatenda kuti aiwa zvamuri kutaura chaizvo ndo zvinogara zvichiitika. Zvese zvamataura hurumende inenge ichiteera imomo. Tinoona kana nguva yekuchema kwaita vanhu nenyaya dzequarantine isolation, muri mumwe vanhu vaipa maguidance kuti dai zvadai tichionawo zvichienda naikoko. Asi tiri kunzwa kuti nyika yaita dambudziko rekushomeka kwenhomba vaccine. Zvingagadziriswa sei, Dr. Nyashano, tichiona kuti zvinezvi kuri kunzi kwakutongobayiwa vanofanira kunge vachiwana nhomba yechipiri, vari kuwana nhomba yekutanga vanenge vatomboiswa parutivi?
Ini ndino zvinhu zvinenge zvichifanira kuitiwa ndezvekuti munhu akabayiwa nhomba yekutanga inomudzivirira zvayo, inozonyanya kana yabayiwa yechipiri. Zvava zvichida kuti hurumende dai yanga yatobaya vanhu vakawanda nhomba yekutanga kuti vange vachiwana kunge vachidzivirirwa. Tozopinda panyaya yekuti tine majekiseni aakushota. Indinogara ndichitaura kuti kupiwa kwakanaka chose, kana tikawana vanotandavadza maoko zvakanaka. Asi isusu sehurumende, kana kuti kana paine hurumende iri yekuZimbabwe, vanofanira kuwanawo vachitenga zvimwe zvinhu, nekuti mukatenga munoitawo simba rekuti ingatatenga 1 madii matiwedzera. Zvino isu tinonetsa kuti tinozongomirira zvekupuhwa chete. Kana wapuhwa ungazokumbira chimwe futi, unenge wakutonzi wakutonyanya wapiwa futi, wokumbira fodya nemoto nebepa. Ndosaka ndichiti inini dai hurumende ichitanga dai yakatotanga kare kureiza mari yekuti inge ichitengawo mushonga uku ichipiwawo mushonga. Tinoziva hedu kuti dambudziko rekushota kwemishonga riri kuwanikwa munzvimbo dzakawanda wanda, asi zvinodawo futi inonzi proactive, yekuti tinenge tichifanira kunge tatova nevanhu vanenge vachiuya vachiona kuti mishonga iri kufambiswa sei. Isusu tamanyawo pamamaketi tichitenga. Manje tikati vari kutenga vakutoshayiwa, kweisu vekukumbira tinenge tiri kupi? Ndinoona zviri zvinhu zvinorwadza zvikuru kuti mishonga yakunge ichipera, asi isusu hatina yatinoti strategy public health yekuti how do we acquire medication. Kana tiringe tine chirwere chakaita seCovid-19, panofanira kunge paine mari inoiswa pasaidi. Nyika tinoziva kuti kune anonzi madeveloping countries nemadeveloped countries, asi utano hwavanhu hwakakosha kuti nyika inge ine mari yekutenga majekiseni pamwe chete nemapiritsi ekudzivirira vanhu.
Chris.
Yes, Dr. Nyashano, there's a question that has arisen, especially coming from Zimbabwe, where we are told some people go to try and get a vaccine, and they are told the only vaccines that are available are for those taking it for the second time, or they go to another center, they are told maybe someone already has the first vaccine, and they are told we only have vaccines for the second dose. So the question is, are these vaccines not the same? Like if one is for the first dose, does it look the same with the one for the second dose?
I don't think they are the same because it's a combination that is given, or probably that would also depend on the type of vaccine it is. So if they say they've got the second dose, then it might depend if it is Sinopharm or if it is Pfizer or AstraZeneca. They've got different, they might be different, or the construction, the composition of the chemicals are different. But my point is that, the first thing that you do if you are vaccinating is to make sure that people have received the first level of vaccination. That is very important. It's useless for us to have second vaccines when people have not been vaccinated for the first time. And one of the things that we have as well is that, do you know that just having the first vaccine, you are protected? So it was paramount that the government should have actually purchased, or whoever was giving them, they should have actually clamored to get the first vaccine so that they can vaccinate all the people first, and they have a protection. We could struggle to get the second vaccine, and then that's better. At least people will be protected.
Yes, so the answer is it yes or no, the vaccines are different?
No, they should be different, and also it might depend with the type, but they are definitely different, I suppose.
Okay, thank you so much, Jonga. We are now joined by another guest, Mr. Prince Lou T. Kandemiri.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, tinogamuchira muchirongwa chedu vakandemiri.
Thank you, sir.
Handizoda vakandemiri vamwe chete nakandemiri ari kutaura here, asi kusangana kwaana kandemiri uko.
Ndatoziona kudhara.
Ndaiva tiri mupenyu zvikuru. Nyaya tinokurukura, tine nyaya dzakati kuti dzatabata-bata, asi yamapinda mudariro ichikurukurwa inyaya yenhomba yevaccine dziri kubayiwa kumusha. Tiri kunzwa kuti vaccine yakuita shoma zvekuti takaona nezuro kuchinhoi matenda anga akaiswa mune dzimwe nzvimbo akutombodzikiswa pasi nokuti they don't have the vaccines. And kune dzimwe nzvimbo, if people go for their first dose, they are told no, only have vaccines for second dose, meaning kuti akawana first dose achicomplete awane H2 yake. Imiwo tinoziva muri mutauriri webato idzva rePatriotic Zimbabweans Party. Zvii zvamungataurawo panyaya yemafambisiro ari panomba kuZimbabwe?
Tinotenda. Look, Zimbabwe pane problem yokuti whatever they do zvinoitwa with corruption in mind, such that zvinhu zviri essential sekuvaccination yekubayiwa nhomba kwevanhu.
Vakandemiri, kamera yenyu inenge iri kungotora hafu yechiso. Akukuonai.
Sorry, I'll be back home soon. Nopika madam.
No problem.
Is that better now?
Dzikisai mchana, kana kwidzai mchana kamera yenyu kuti tione chiso chete.
Oh, okay, like this. Like this?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Muruku prefer kuita Shona nengi kana kuti English. What is the language?
My language is tinokurukura pano.
Thank you. Right. In my take in terms of Zimbabwe, and even in situations very critical like COVID vaccination, you will find that corruption kicks in right from the onset, and government starts to take irresponsible actions in terms of administration of national or important national things such as vaccines. So, like you're rightly saying, Zimbabwe has been issued with vaccines before. They have access to the COVID-19, their quota. They've got access to that. And in any event, Zimbabwe must be able to purchase the vaccines for their own population, because they are an independent state. So I don't find any reason or any reasonable excuse why Zimbabwe should not afford its citizens to have vaccinations. And in any event, why the government is failing to manage such a high-profile epidemic such as COVID, taking into account other measures that have been taken by other countries in the world. So I have no sympathy for Zimbabwean government in terms of their failure to administer a COVID vaccination.
Regai tinzwe tina vaRegis Charumbira vari parunhare vebato reZANU-PF. Mr. Charumbira, I think you heard from Mr. Prince Lou Kandemiri. You heard him clearly?
I heard him.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I think I'll just quickly want to touch base just one sentiment on the report that was the last phase of the report that was given by the doctor who just from England there. I forgot the last name.
Yes, Dr. Nyashanu.
Yes. I think that will also touch some of the sentiments that are just being brought by Kandemiri here. Right. The report that because our Polity Bureau just ended a few hours ago, and every report was given. The vaccination report was also given, and according to that report, we have been notified that vaccination is going on very well. And vaccination, no one should be charging the vaccines because the vaccines are provided freely by the government. So as far as the other places where vaccines are being limited, or we are hearing news that there are some areas where vaccines are no longer available, that is not official. We have not heard that as an official statement. So I think we have to be very wise who bring the news, because as far as the government is concerned, the vaccine program is still going on.
Thank you, Mr. Charumbira. Before you go any further, yesterday on our show, we carried the story on Studio 7, Voice of America, and we had a Minister of Health representative from Mashonaland West who alluded to this. So it's not something that is coming up from, yes.
That's okay, but I'm sure that representative is a ZANU-PF member, and the Polity Bureau constitutes anything that the government is doing.
Okay.
So the report that just came a few hours ago from the Polity Bureau is what I've just said, and it's there for your consumption. If you have availability of that Polity Bureau meeting, you can see it for yourself. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that about our citizens, our Zimbabwean citizens at large. When the vaccine, especially the first this first dose was rolled out, a lot of our people, even my relatives, they did not want to go and get that vaccine. There is still people are still suffering from the conspiracies that this vaccine is going to be a danger to their health. So we before we blame the government, like Kandemiri there, that when you go on the air and you because people are going to listen to you, it doesn't really represent you very well. You want to be patriotic. You are not the government is therefore you are the one who has put a step on it. No, we are not doing that. What we are saying is, let me just finish here. What I'm saying here is our people are not willing. They were not willing all along to go for the first jab, right? And as far as I'm concerned right now, I know that the vaccine, the first jab is still available. But people, are they willing to go and partake it?
But the point, Mr. Charumbira Vusango, here is, even if people were not willing to go and have vaccinated, it was proper if the government is disposing of vaccines because there are no takers. Not that Mashonaland West closes some of its mobile stations because there is no vaccines.
How many provinces do we have in Mukanya? We can't take it.
Not Mashonaland, not Mashonaland. No, that is one province I gave you, Mr. Charumbira. That is just one province I gave you. But the same is happening in Harare. The same is happening in Mashonaland East, in all the other provinces. So it's not something isolated.
But I thought you said the representative.
No, I gave you the official. What you said, this is not official. That's why I said yesterday on our show we had an official from the Minister of Health, and we also have evidence from our reporters on the ground from all the other provinces, and we pulled those reports and made them.
So are we saying now that the Minister of Health, Dr. Chwenga, was lying to the Polity Bureau?
Mr. Charumbira, the problem here, Mr. Charumbira, is we should not play partisan politics, but let's just discuss what is on the ground. Maybe Dr. Chwenga has not yet received reports from all the provinces. Nobody knows, but let's. Yeah, but no, who knows it's correct or incorrect? It's you who is saying it's correct. Nobody says it's incorrect. But what we are saying is what is obtaining on the ground? You are talking of having relatives who refuse to go and have their jabs. We are also talking of relatives who are going there but are failing to get vaccinated because there is no vaccines.
So now we are having mixed reports.
Thank you.
I was saying, Kandemiri there, the previous speaker, was actually trying to put a statement in the government that the government is corrupt. Where is the corruption coming from?
Thank you, Mr. Rumbira. Thank you. Rumbira. Chimira itinzwe kuna vakandemiri 30 seconds then tozwa kuna vagande nevamwe pane vamwe vari pasi pachirongwa arambai muri parunhare vacharumbira vakandemiri pindura itinzwe.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Charumbira. The problem is that he's speaking too much of like a ZANU-PF supporter, not like a patriotic Zimbabwe. Because if you are patriotic Zimbabwe, then you speak objectively on things that affect the population. Like the example, the host, Mr. Jonga, has clearly pointed out that some settings are being demolished because there's no medicine or vaccinations. So I find it very unreasonable for Mr. Charumbira to come and defend such a position. Look, the reason why I'm talking about corruption is it's endemic with ZANU-PF. Whatever they do, whatever involves them, corruption kicks in. That's where my problem is. To the extent that now it's showing its footsteps or its DNA in things of a national nature, such as the distribution of vaccinations. This is why I'm talking about that. Right. In any event, why should ZANU-PF Politburo to talk about national affairs of such nature? This is a Zimbabwean crisis that needs to be managed by a Zimbabwean government, not a political party. That's why the footsteps or the DNA of ZANU-PF is found everywhere. And whenever that DNA is found, corruption kicks in. That's my point.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gande.
Yes, thank you so much, Jonga. Let's take a quick break here and listen to a report about how the United States is getting back into the normal life that we are used to because of vaccinations. People have been vaccinated, and so they are now getting back to life. And this, let's see. Trying to play the video. Okay.
Italians are welcoming an end to months of pandemic lockdown. For
some, sipping coffee indoors at their favorite cafe
reminds them of the simple pleasures long
delayed to them.
I think we have a small technical problem there. What we'll do, we'll come back to the video when we solve that issue. But meanwhile, let's talk to Dr. Nyashanu. Dr. Nyashanu, you had, the back and forth that we had with the previous guest there. What do you make of the politics that's getting into all this, the distribution? Do you think there is politics, or is everything is going as smooth and normal?
There's definitely a problem with the distribution of vaccine, and it's not new to Zimbabwe. We could actually say, but it becomes worse in Zimbabwe because of the dilapidated health system, which does not work. And this is why, in the first instance, Dr. Gante, I was actually talking about we need strategies. We need to be actually moving with strategies, how we are going to roll out these things. And I actually talked about the dependency syndrome, which is quite very dangerous for our independence, for our for even our going sustainable development. Our government depends on freebies, which is not very good. You can't vaccinate a population of 16 million through freebies. You need to have money that is set aside to purchase vaccines, which we do not have in Zimbabwe. And the second thing is that we have billionaires, and some of them are part of the government. This is something that is worrying, and the government is not able to buy vaccines. And this is something that is very, very, very painful when you look at the situation of Zimbabwe, and when you look at how they are mixing and matching different vaccines just because they are free of charge.
Thank you so much. Let's try and play the video.
Italians are welcoming an end to months of pandemic lockdown. For some, sipping coffee indoors at their favorite cafe reminds them of the simple pleasures long denied to them.
This is one of the many signs of starting again. One coffee gives us the feeling of living serenely again.
We drink this first coffee with pleasure. We are starting again. Let's hope for this for everyone. We have missed these traditions.
Italy has endured in and out restrictions since last year, when the country became one of the world's first COVID-19 hotspots.
Seeing this place fill up again after almost 4 months gives me a huge sense of satisfaction, above all for a place as big and important as this one.
Italy has registered more than 4.2 million COVID-19 cases, but new infections have declined of late amid a successful vaccination campaign. Meanwhile, German health officials said the coronavirus risk
level in the country has been reduced.
The numbers are much better than they were, but high also means they are still a risk, and if we are not careful, that could change again very quickly.
The number of new weekly cases has fallen to about 3 dozens per 100,000 residents nationwide. And in Israel, a very special day. Almost all restrictions have been lifted, rendering unnecessary the green vaccination passes that until now had been required to access public venues.
After quarantines and close downs and all the restrictions we've been experienced, now we are opening all the activity in Israel and no more green pass.
With a population of 9.3 million, Israel has delivered over 5.4 million first doses and at least 5.1 million second doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Mariama Diallo, VOA News.
Yes, thank you so much. I think you heard from the video that Chris just played that things are normalizing here in the United States of America. And we expect that to also happen in other countries. Maybe Mr. Charumbira Vusango, you can tell us how things are rolling out in Canada.
In Canada, I think most people have gotten their first jab. The provinces, the premiers of every province, are encouraging people to go for the first jab. I think, like I said, the situation that was also in our country in Zimbabwe is also over here. People are still skeptical to get the first jab. It's happening all over the world. It's not only a Zimbabwean issue. And so what they are doing here, they are not doing it like they do it over there in America, where they give you a lottery ticket or something like that for you to come get your jab. Here, they are just telling people you need to be vaccinated in order to be available or to attend some of the official programs that are going to be rolled out very soon. So, as far as normalizations, we are not at that stage of being a normalized nation yet. There are still cases of COVID, people are still dying, but it's a developed world and people are still skeptical. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ndinotenda zvikuru. Ndofunga vakandemiri vanenge busy. Ndiri kuona vanenge vari kutyaira apo. Tobva kuna vanokwanisa kutaura.
5 minutes I'll be settled. Sorry.
No problem. Regaiti ndinoimba kuti Chris anogona kumbokubvisai zvishoma hake pascreen so that mozodzoka pamune masununguka. Toenda iri kuna Dr. Nyashanu. Dr. Nyashanu, vakawanda sekunzwa vamaita pavidhio vakusunungura zvinhu munyika dzakasiyana siyana. Ikoko kuUnited Kingdom zvakamirawo sei?
Kuno kuUnited Kingdom ndizvo zvimwe chete zviri kuitika. tiri kuona kuti vanhu vari kubatwa nechirwere cheCovid-19 vadzikira zvikuru, uyezve vanhu vakawanda vakatambira majekiseni. Vamwe vacho vakawandazve vakatotambira majekiseni echipiri. Ndofunga kusvika kuna na 21 June nyika inenge kuvhurika chaiko chaiko. Vanhu vari kutarisira kunge vachibuda kunze, nekuti hurumende iri kuda kuti iite kickstart economy inove inenge yanga yadzikira pasi nenyaya yekuti pane zvinhu zvizhinji zvazvisingashandi nguva yeCovid-19. Asi hangu chinhu chandakada kutora ndichidzidza kunoku, chandinoda kuti dai chaitwa kumusha kwedu, ndechekuti kana paitika dambudziko rakadai rekuti vanhu havaende kubasa, vanhu havana kuita havakwanisi kuzviriritira, vanhu vai vari vulnerable, vaya dai vachiwanawo zvinhu zvekuti vakwanise kubika kasadza, vakwanise kurarama sezvinoitwa kunoku. Vanopa vanhu vaya vanenge vari vulnerable. Saka kwedu ukoko ndakati ndichienda kumusha muna December, zvandakaona inini kumusha zvinorwadza zvikuru, especially vanhu vanga vachigara kumamisha nevamwe vanogara kumarokesheni anogara vakawanda mumadhorobha. Izvozvo ndozvo zvinofana kunge zvichiitwa nehurumende, zvekuti dzibatsire vanhu vari vulnerable nevasingakwanisi kunge vachizowana zvekudya zvazvo panguva inenge yakaita sei.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nyashanu. Ndichiwedzera ipapo, takataura nevemasangano anomirira vanoita mabhizimusi madiki vatingati ma-informal trader vaya. Vaichema kuti mari yakaiswa parutivi nehurumende kuti ibatsire vemabhizimusi munguva ino yeCovid iri kunzi inopiwa vemabhizimusi makuru chete, ende zvinenge zvichiitwa kuburikidza nemabhengi, meaning kuti vendors and informal traders, small traders and all those, they are sidelined and they were crying foul kuti hurumende yati rasisa ipapo, nokuti tarisiro yanga iri yekuti mari inenge ichibatsira kumutsiridza mabhizimusi kune vanhu vose. Ndinotarisira kuti vacharumbira vanogona nga vaine zviri zvitatu zvekutaura ipapa, vacharumbira tisati tapinda mune imwe hurukuro, nokuti tine hurukuro imwe yekuti tinge tichitaura pamusoro penyaya yediaspora vote. Tiri kuona kuti Zimbabwe Electoral Commission yakazivisa kuti giya rekupinda musarudzo za 2023 rakatotanga kubudikidza nenyaya dzedelimitation nezvimwe zvese zviri kuitika nekunyoresa kuvhota kuri kuitika izvi. Saka tichada kuti kurukurewo nyaya yekuti vari kunze kwenyika muri kuti panyaya yekuti muvhote munge muchisvitsa zvamunoda kuti zvinge zvichiitwa zvichitambirwa kumusha. Ndotanga hangu ndanzwa vacharumbira panyaya iyo yatabva kutaura mai manje yekuti mari dzinofanira dzichimutsiridza mabhizimusi dziri kunzi dzinongopiwa vemabhizimusi makuru chete.
Ndotenda vajonga, I think ndinongobata futi 1 or 2 zvataurwa naDr. Nyashanu as far as kuti vava vari kumusha muna December. Ndaide ndakavaona kuti handiriko. But I think sometimes we do over-exaggerate the way we comment about situations on the ground. Yes, we all agree that yes, the situation of people suffering from hunger and impoverishment is still there. But I think sometimes we go over the board and speak as if people are actually dying. If the situation is that bad, Dr. Nyashanu, then people should be dying. Right? But I don't think that's the situation really. So as I move from there, I wanted also to pose a question to him that as far as the vaccines are concerned, are you also aware that it's not only Zimbabwe that is in this suffering stage of getting more vaccines? Other African countries, it's an African issue as well. Other African countries are actually worse than Zimbabwe. So we are actually, yes, we do wish that our country be ahead as far as the vaccination is concerned. But we are better off than other African countries. Then the other thing is that I don't know if you are aware that the African Union has commissioned scientists and doctors. We've got very good scientists in Africa who are actually somehow working with scientists in the Western world to develop our own vaccines. And they've already started. The process has already started. That will help because the African Bank, the African Union has seen that this vaccination, this pandemic can come back again in the future. So they are now trying to equip Africa as a whole. So all countries in Africa have agreed that we need to have our own vaccination programs. We need to have our own scientists who can produce our own vaccine. So you cannot compare United Kingdom to Zimbabwe. The reason why United Kingdom is where it is because of Zimbabwe. If Zimbabwe wasn't there before, United Kingdom couldn't be where they are. So we are behind because we have sanctions. We are behind because we were colonized. There is no other country that has been colonized that is doing well as far as vaccination is concerned. Look at India. So let's be patriotic. And I don't see patriotic from you when you are commenting. Now I want to go to the small business and the other bigger businesses getting assistance from the government. Yes, I know that because of our fund, the government doesn't have a lot of money. The government